All right, I'm in the house with ShySpeaks.
Yeah.
What brings you to Tulsa, Miss ShySpeaks?
Of course, the mic drop film premiere in concert.
Are you excited to be here?
I am.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now you were at the premiere in Dallas as well.
Yes, I was there. I was in the building.
Right.
I was not a part of the production this time. I was a part of the production.
How's it feel to be a part of the production?
Man, it felt good.
Yeah.
It feels pretty good. I mean, I'm excited. I got to get to see what rehearsal and all that kind of stuff is like, so we can kind of prepare. But just even so far from being here, being around the other guys, the OGs.
Yes.
It just feels kind of epic, actually.
Tell folks a little bit about ShySpeaks. Give people a snapshot of how you would describe your ministry.
I mean, I describe it as a mission. So I always say that my mission is to reinfuse positivity and spirituality into urban culture through the arts and the power of my voice.
Yeah.
I think that kind of encompasses it all.
I was going to say your performance, but I only want to call it performance because I feel like that's not the right term to use. The way you're captured in the movie, they're really powerful moments in the movie. I really will ask people to check them out because I think the way you communicate with the audience is really powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I put, they say put it all out.
Yeah.
You know, I try to give it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also interact because it's an experience.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a presentation happening on the stage,
Absolutely.
there's an audience of people.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I think that's a compliment.
So now, being with these pioneers, these legends, how did you know many of them before this whole movie experience?
I didn't know them personally, but I definitely knew about them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Just the West Coast rappers I knew of was T-Bone and I knew Chili Baby.
Yeah.
Just because he had the signature look, the beard, I knew about him. I was able to be a part of something in New York. I can't get the name of it right now.
Was the Kingdom, not the Kingdom Choice?
Kingdom Choice Awards.
Kingdom Choice Awards.
Kingdom Choice Awards.
Yes.
But before I was a part of the Kingdom Choice Awards, I was up there and I performed at the Brooklyn Theater.
Okay.
And before I performed at the Brooklyn Theater, the day or so before, I was at some other event, just a random in the streets type of event. And I was able to, they let me go.
Yeah.
And when I went, afterwards, they were like, oh, crap. We gotta tell Mike Peace about you. We gotta tell Corey Red about you.
Yes.
And so I was able to meet Mike Peace and over the phone and Corey Red in person.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I've been in this industry with CHH. It feels like about 20 years, a little over 20 years, and I'm excited to see more and more female MCs have a lot more presence. Right. But I'm curious to know, how does it feel for you?
Right. Man, that's definitely a loaded question. It doesn't feel like, and I'm gonna be, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but this is the most authentic thing to do. It doesn't feel like people who are curators or not curators, gatekeepers, journalists. It doesn't feel like they want to see more.
Okay.
Because all it would take is for you to kind of continue to find somebody that you like that's a female MC and give her more reach by the exposure that you have.
Yes.
So hopefully that makes sense. So
it does.
I don't feel like it doesn't feel like it's something that the gatekeepers or promoters that they really necessarily wholeheartedly want to see. They may want to see it at times and at moments in spurts, but I don't know if they want to consistently see it. And the reason why I say that is because if you are, the Rough Riders, there was Eve, right?
Yes.
There was no, we need some females. No, they just found one and she hard. We're going to put her on and we're going to give her as much exposure as all of us are getting.
Right.
And so I don't feel like I see that. So that's kind of how it seems. And I'm not saying that there are times where that you guys or anybody else that are a part of covering CHH and helping shine the spotlight. I'm not saying that there are not times like that, but I don't feel like there's not a feeling that I have, and if I talk to any of my sisters where they're like, they want us to win, like they want to let listeners of the CHH audience know that there are females that exist. I don't think it doesn't seem like there's a super intentional effort. Also, it feels kind of like in some senses, like especially being around the pioneers, they're very welcoming. You know, but they're from a different era of hip hop again, where they was embracing like Roxanne and like, you know what I mean? Like they were embracing like, it was an embracing at that time, I think. And so, so I think that maybe has to do with that. But it feels welcoming. And sometimes it feels like you get left out intentionally, not necessarily because bar for bar you can't hang or you know your presentation is not to the point, but it's kind of like, well, I'm trying not to fall, so I don't want to like get to know her too much because I gotta protect my eyes and I don't want to get too close to a woman. So there's that aspect of men trying to guard themselves in ministry from women, and that's even including the MC. So there's a couple of different things with that.
Wow, that's a lot in there. Okay. Well, we'll take that under advisement. Message received. I would say, and I don't want to, because I don't want to sound offensive at all. I would say, we'll take that under advisement, and I think we can all do better. Two, I know over the last 2 years we've done a lot to try to support like AID Anomaly, who we spent some time with, and like anytime she has something come out, we cover it. Reese Lachey, I know we've done that. Right. Now we're meeting you, and quite frankly, I hadn't been exposed to your ministry until the movie. And I think that's a part of some of the fragmentation in our genre sometimes, right? Is when you get the exposure points and info points, right? How it gets out, right? So now I'm welcoming you saying, look, you have a home at Holy Culture, right? So you bring it and we'll support it. And if it's what you say it is, we're going to support it. You know, a lot of times I think too, and I can't speak for other outlets, Holy Culture is mad simple. If it's word, you know, you go to our site and go to holyculture.net/submissions. We have 2 criteria. If it's word filled and it's quality, we take it. Yeah. If it's quality but there's no word, we kind of go, not sure. Right. And if it's word and it's not quality, we go, not sure. Right.
And I will say, for me, going back to my mission is to reinfuse positivity and spirituality into urban culture. So there are some times where my music I'm encompassing that spirituality piece, but then there's times where I'm encompassing positivity and I'm being light. I'm just going around doing good, which is what Jesus did.
Absolutely.
He did so many miracles, but it also said that he just did good.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I do that, and so that doesn't necessarily like I said, people may not see that as coinciding with the word, and it's like, I'm
glad you said that. So absolutely.
I totally take that myself.
I'm glad you said that.
I know that I intentionally have those in my mission so that I can be able to edify within the body, but I can actually be pretty much an MC from the culture that's to the culture. You know what I mean? Like I want to do the other things in mainstream spaces and not necessarily just to a Christian market. And so probably because all of my efforts and endeavors have not been specifically to a Christian market, then I can understand why, you know, Holy Culture probably I haven't come up on the radar because maybe my efforts wind up coming up on another radar. So I understand.
I don't think it's that, because I've listened to some of your songs and we would cover them. Yeah. So I don't think it's that. I just think we just hadn't seen it. And I'm glad you mentioned that point too. When I say word filled, it doesn't mean you're saying Jesus or quoting scripture. Yeah. Jesus spoke in parables. Absolutely. And talked about things happening in current times. And I love a metaphor Fred uses sometimes, right? We have to know the Bible and we have to know what's going on in the newspaper, right? And try to communicate both, right? So that's what I mean when I say word filled, right? That we're the application of the word, maybe is better said.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So what's next for you?
Good question. Honestly, I know that they are looking at me and Adrian and the other guys that's in the film Street Hymns as the newer generation that's upcoming that's doing it, and we're current and we're active and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But I feel like I've been doing it long enough to start teaching other artists some of the things that I know.
Yes.
And what I know is, what I think that I do well is the business side of things. Right? I feel like things that I do come across really professionally. So, and I say that, for example, when I was featured on Lecrae's album, Let the Trap Say Amen, I went there, I hung out with Craig, and he said, one thing I like about you, you got bars, you ain't trying to like build a career off of your physique.
Right.
And he was like, but also, I know you're an indie artist, and everything you do always comes across like really professional. Like,
right.
Like, I know you indie, so it's an indie budget behind it, and it's a certain professionalism, and
yes.
the way you do business is really good. So or when other people who are up and coming, when they see me, they ask me about, hey, how can you do, like, can you help me do my contract, or how do I, like, they ask me about things about the business side. So I want to start teaching indies how to go from artists to so I'm just kind of working on a digital product that I can be able to share with them, so I can be able to share it to as many people as possible.
That's good. And what would you say have been some of the keys to your success in that, right?
Man, so I think that the way so for example, booking, everybody knows, especially because of the pandemic, has exposed that artists necessarily need to perform, right? Like, they're not making a ton of money off just music alone. They need to be booked. And so I created like this booking system that I have. It's not just a booking form, but it's an entire system that allows it to where, like, from the time that somebody wants to contact me, to book me, from the booking to the contract, from the contract sending it back to them, and the execution back, and then the invoice, like, which is, obviously that's the process, but it's a little system that I kind of created even when I was up and coming.
Right.
And I created it in such a way so that I could help somebody who says, hey, I want to help you.
Yes.
You know, I wanted to make it to where it was easier for them to be able to help me, because all they have to do is kind of plug and play this system, right? And so that was one of the things that I feel like helped me be successful, is creating a system and then being able to attract a team.
Nice.
A lot of artists want to be able to, I just need some help. I want to attract a team. How can you attract a team? What are they going to help you with? You're unorganized, right? You're organized for a creative, right? Creative, you got all these creative projects, but how can I help you? So I feel like anytime I built a system about something, I was always able to attract another teammate.
Gotcha.
And so at this point, I have like a booking manager, a publicist, I had an intern. How? And I'm not super famous. I haven't even come up on all the radars that you would think I'm supposed to come up on. But for some type of reason, I'm able to build a business and a ministry and artistry and all of that around it, because I have systems and I'm able to attract teams.
Yeah, and you outline specific roles in place to put people in, so on and so forth.
Right.
Brilliant. Nice. Awesome. All right, well, listen, one, I'm looking forward to seeing you tonight, finally, not just watch you on film. Two, I'm looking forward to getting your material on Holy Culture.
Yeah.
And three, we'll be praying for you and your ministry to continue to see it flourish. So thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
ShySpeaks, y'all, right here in Holy Culture. Blessings.